It's the dawn of a new era at AGA. AGA is known for their cast iron ovens, but now they're catching up with 21st century design and technology, and they may have overshot the mark a bit. This might be 22nd century design and technology. Let's get into it here. They have one radiant heat cast iron oven for roasting. Okay, it's an AGA, got it. It's got an additional cast iron for simmering, right? It's got a traditional fan-driven oven, 4-zone induction glass cooktop, bridging functions for griddle and pans, a hot plate, and chrome and glass make it look like a sports car. Anthony, what are your impressions of the new era?
I'm floored by this piece. I think this is so cool. So again, going back to the history when John and I got started, there was one AGA range in the showroom, and it looked like it had been there for 200 years. And everyone raved about the functionality of it, but the aesthetics were missing for a modern kitchen. Like, no one was going for it. There was a very specific market. This is a head turner. This makes you do a double take, and you're like, holy cow, I might really want to do this. I want to cook on it. I'm like, this has so much flexibility to it. And the hot plate on it, I saw some things online where you can cook on the hot plate. They give you like a silpat accessory. I just think this is so cool. I know my wife would love to cook on it. I really like this. My question, before I pass it over to John, when we talked about air fry weeks or months ago, a lot of it came down to capacity. Can you air fry in the fan-driven oven, do you think, in your opinion, if you had the right tray?
Not effectively, honestly. I mean, fan-forced air and the amount of air that you would need to be able to force into a cavity, even if you did have the right pans, and that's a good call out. I don't think so, but honestly, I haven't seen it in person. But I don't think that there's enough power behind this because it's not their primary oven that has the fan, right? They're still known for their simmering and slow roasting and things like that. So my guess would be that there wouldn't be enough to get the result that you're looking for.
I was thinking capacity-wise, maybe. But anyways, what are your other thoughts on this?
Yeah, so, we've always known these guys as these big, quirky kind of cast iron ranges that couldn't really sell in the US unless somebody was really kind of already obsessed with the brand, right? They usually sold themselves before they even came in to see it. When you look at these things, it's always on heat, right? There were venting requirements. There was these weird sizings that they had too. It was more of a lifestyle piece, right? It wasn't really a realistic option for most buyers that came in. And this rollout, this era really changes that, right? I mean, with everything that we're talking about, right? There is no flue, there's no gas line, there's no always on heat dumps and things like that, like the old ones did. So for the first time, they can kind of go into that quote unquote normal kitchen without having to kind of rewrite that whole room. There's a couple other things to point out, right? It is how it cooks, obviously, right? You're still getting that radiant cast iron that really built the brand's reputation, but now you're pairing that with that fan oven, which is kind of a more modern feature for them. And then, you're adding induction as well. So while you can still slow roast and do the things that they're known for, you can also boil water in 90 seconds, right? And now you can also get evenly baked cookies. So the old, I don't know if you guys knew this note, but the old notion with them is that they were cool, they were a novelty piece, but they were a little bit impractical. That objection is kind of shot completely down now. But the last thing here is design relevance, for sure, right? I mean, that classic AGA, and you mentioned it, Anthony, I mean, it was screamed like country farmhouse, right? Era has glass and chrome now, so it's clean enough to actually go into these modern luxury kitchens without looking like that relic that we used to have on our floor, and that's a big barrier removed for these guys. So, you can stop treating AGA as more of a curiosity if you have it on your floor. And, this is really a really cool piece and it kind of proves out that AGA is modernizing without having to lose its identity, which I really think is cool.